You know what I'm talking about. That thing, that big ugly thing that was spreading like wildfire, hurting millions, suffocating hope before it even had a chance to breathe. And there you were, watching, waiting, feeling it claw its way into every corner of daily life, feeling it touch even the people who should have known better. And then you moved. You didn't just move quietly, politely, pretending everything was fine. No. You slammed the brakes on it. You didn't just whisper a warning. You shouted, you exposed, you dismantled the machinery that had been feeding on weakness, on blind trust, on silence. Millions of eyes were blinded, millions of hearts were unknowingly bruised, and industry giants, they felt it. Oh yes, even they flinched when the truth hit. And here's the thing, you were the spark that turned chaos into clarity. It wasn't easy. It never is. And they knew it. Every small victory was a battle. Every attempt to quiet you was met with that cold, calculating resistance that comes when power senses a threat. You faced systems built to crush dissent, structures designed to turn outrage into distraction. But you didn't flinch. You leaned in. You became sharper. Every no they threw at you became fuel. Every sideways glance, every whisper behind closed doors, it only sharpened the edge you carried. Think about that for a second. Millions affected, lives caught in a pattern they didn't even realize. People who had no voice, people who had stopped believing anyone could care. And you tore through the noise. You pierced through the illusions. Playful? Perhaps. But deadly serious. Because it's not about ego. It's about impact. It's about showing the world that one person, one voice, one relentless mind can shift the scales. The taste of that moment, when your action hits and the ripple begins, it's intoxicating. But here's the most twisted part. The system, the industry, they saw it coming. They felt the tremor. They tried to adjust. They tried to absorb it, to spin it, to minimize the damage. And yet, nothing could stop the truth when it carries the weight of conviction. And you, yes, you, became the impossible variable, the one factor they hadn't accounted for. That's why this matters. That's why people remember the ones who don't just stand by, those who refuse to play along, those who light the match when everyone else is too afraid to move. Now imagine it. Every boardroom, every corner office, every high-rise pretending business as usual, shaken. Every system that thrived on silence, disrupted. Every professional who thought they were untouchable, suddenly aware that the game has changed. It's not just about winning. It's about making them feel the weight of accountability. It's about proving that courage is contagious, that action is louder than noise, and that the smallest flicker can ignite a wildfire if it's placed in the right hands. And here's the kicker. It's not over. Oh no. This was the beginning. You've seen the cracks, you've felt the tremors, and what have you done? You've set a precedent. You've drawn the line in the sand. Millions watched, millions waited, and now they know. They know what happens when someone refuses to ignore the rot. They know what happens when integrity refuses to bend to convenience. They know what it feels like when truth is unmasked. So this is where it begins. The moment when everything that seemed untouchable wavers. The moment when the story shifts from fear to hope. The moment when your actions, once a spark in the dark, become a signal that someone somewhere can fight back, that someone somewhere can rise. And if you think this is just a story about what's been done, think again. This is the story about what you can still ignite. And that is far more powerful than anything the industry could ever anticipate. Now you see it, don't you? The cracks in the armor, the whispers behind closed doors, the fear in the eyes of those who thought they could manipulate the world unnoticed. You've done something they never expected, something they never imagined. And the power of that? Oh, it's intoxicating, not for vanity, not for applause, but because it proves something undeniable, that one determined mind can shake the foundations that millions rely on, without question. And here's the truth nobody wants to admit. The system, the industry, the institutions, they thrive on complacency. They bank on silence. They build walls of routine, of rules, of policies designed to keep people numb and obedient. But you, yes, you tore down those walls. You turned silence into sound, inaction into disruption. And now the real work begins, because it's not enough to break the pattern. You have to ignite a new one. No, no, no. Don't think for a second that your job stops here. This is the moment where courage becomes contagious. Every voice you inspire, every mind you awaken, every person who dares to question, that's your legacy. It's messy, chaotic, uncomfortable, but it's alive. And alive is better than being dormant. Alive is what breaks chains. Alive is what shifts millions from numb despair to fierce awareness. Look around you. Look at the rules everyone follows without thinking. The invisible lines they refuse to cross. The systems designed to make the powerless feel small. Playful, isn't it? But deadly. Because when you step across those lines, when you stare down the barriers with unflinching focus, everything changes. Every timid observer starts to wonder, why not me? Every timid observer starts to feel the spark that says, I can fight back too. And that is where your influence multiplies. Now feel it. The weight of responsibility, the thrill of possibility. You've shut down something massive, something that was eating away at millions quietly. But you didn't just stop it for yourself. You stopped it for everyone who had lost hope that someone would act. And now, the stage is set. Every obstacle, every skeptic, every cynic, watch closely. They are about to realize that the world no longer bends to convenience. The world bends to courage. But here's the punch. Courage is contagious, yes, but it needs direction. It needs purpose. And you, the one who dared to defy, must now become the spark that guides it. You are not just a fighter. You are a signal, a beacon. A living example that someone can stand when millions falter. That someone can disrupt the routine, unmask the hidden, and force a reckoning. And the beauty? Others will follow. They must. Because once one person lights the fuse, the chain reaction cannot be stopped nor ignored. So ask yourself, what's next? What's the next system that's hiding in plain sight? The next pattern, the next manipulation, the next silent force that's shaping millions without consent. That's your playground now. Not for revenge, not for glory, but for change. Every observation, every move, every calculated strike, it's another ripple, another chance to show the world that courage matters. that action matters, that one unflinching mind can rewrite the rules. And here's the final truth. This isn't a story of luck. It's not coincidence. It's intentional. It's disciplined chaos. You chose to see what others ignored. You chose to act when they hesitated. You chose to bear the weight of awareness while others pretended not to notice. And in that choice lies power. Real, undeniable, transformative power. Now take a breath. Look around. The battlefield is everywhere. The structures that once seemed impenetrable are trembling. The silence is breaking. And the spark you lit? It's growing. It's spreading. It's awakening minds, stirring hearts, challenging the complacent. And all that remains is one final question. Will you keep walking this path? Will you keep striking at the systems that hurt millions? Or will you let the fire fade and watch the world slip back into darkness? No, you know the answer. You've felt the impact. You've seen the tremor. You've tasted the possibility. And now, it's time to rise again. Time to move harder, faster, smarter. Time to remind the world that the cost of silence is far greater than the risk of action. Yes, this is where the real story begins. And the world, every single corner of it, will never be the same again. The moment where hesitation dies, the moment where fear stares back at you and realizes it doesn't stand a chance. Every system that thought it could hide, every industry that thought it could manipulate, every voice that tried to bury the truth, they feel it. They feel you. And oh, they cannot ignore it. This is the arena, not a place of comfort, not a place of safety, but a place where action shapes reality, where one spark, one choice, one unflinching mind changes the trajectory of millions. The irony is beautiful. They built their walls thinking they were untouchable. And now, every brick trembles under the weight of what you've unleashed. Look at yourself. Really look. The world wanted you small. They wanted you quiet. They wanted your courage buried under layers of doubt and distraction. But you refused. You moved when they hesitated. You struck when they planned. And now, the fire you started, it's no longer yours alone. It's a signal, a call, a challenge. Every person who's watched, every mind who's waited, they're waking up. And that is the power of one relentless will. No. Don't slow down. Don't pause. Don't let the whispers of "it's too much" or "what can I do" poison at this moment. Every second you hesitate, the world waits. Every move you make, the world shifts. It's exhilarating, isn't it? The knowledge that one action, one fearless act can ripple through millions of lives. And you are that act. You are the tremor in the calm, the chaos in the system, the spark that sets the whole world alight. Now listen closely. This is the truth they'll never tell you. Change doesn't happen by chance. It doesn't happen quietly. It doesn't happen for those who hope someone else will do it. Change happens when someone refuses to step back, when someone decides that silence is unacceptable, that inaction is a crime. And you already chose that path. You've already stepped into the storm. And every storm you walk through leaves a mark, a legacy, a warning to anyone who dares to think the world can ignore courage. Feel it. The tension, the energy, the unstoppable momentum. The industry can shake, the systems can falter, but the mind that refuses to back down, That mind is limitless. Every ripple you've made becomes a wave. Every voice awakened becomes a chorus. Every structure toppled becomes a lesson. No one, absolutely no one, is beyond challenge. And the beauty of it, it only grows, it compounds, it spreads like wildfire through the very veins of the world that tried to resist you. This is your story. No, this is your revolution. Every spark you've struck, every shadow you've lit, every system you've disrupted, it converges here. And the world? The world is listening. The world is watching. And every single person who's ever been silenced, dismissed, overlooked, they see you. They feel you. They understand that courage is not a whisper. Courage is a roar. A roar that shakes foundations, that wakes minds, that refuses to be ignored. So rise, again, strike, again, challenge, again. Every action you take is a message. That injustice will not go unnoticed. That manipulation will not go unchallenged. That silence is no longer an option. The systems tremble because you refuse to play by their rules. The industry shivers because you refuse to bow. The world awakens because you dared to act. Now take it all in. The fire, the power, the tremor you've unleashed. And know this: the story doesn't end. Not here. Not now. Every choice, every step, every relentless act of courage, it builds the path forward. And the path, it's yours to define, yours to walk, yours to ignite. And as long as you move, as long as you refuse to look away, millions will follow, millions will rise, and the world will never be the same. You know how people expect you to be a certain way? It's almost funny. They see a quiet person and assume weakness. They see a smile and think it's innocent. They watch your hands, the ones that hold back the storm inside, and they never suspect a warrior could be gentle. But here's the thing, my friend. They are wrong. Dead wrong. They want chaos, aggression, the thunderous roar of someone fighting just to be seen. And you stand there, calm, measured, kind, and oh, the confusion that sparks in their eyes. It's almost a weapon, isn't it? To watch them struggle, trying to understand why you don't lash out, why your fire doesn't burn indiscriminately. They didn't see it coming, did they? Your patience, your restraint, your ability to stay human when the world throws venom in your path. It unsettles them. It frightens them. Because in their minds, strength is loud, strength is raw, strength is force. But here's the secret. They have no clue that true warriors are tempered, that the mightiest among us can move through life without leaving a trail of destruction behind, that a hand extended in kindness doesn't make you weak. It makes you unpredictable, dangerous even. And when they finally realize it, it's too late. Look around. People are fighting to be heard, shouting to matter. They push, they shove, they tear down, and here you are, standing in the shadows, smiling quietly, watching as they scramble to decipher the puzzle you've become. It's a curious thing, isn't it? How a gentle touch, a calm word, a steady gaze can unravel them faster than any blow. You are the storm they never anticipated. Not loud, not violent, but relentless, unseen, yet unbroken. And in that moment you own them, not through fear, but through clarity, through presence. You've been trained to see the world as a battlefield. Every glance, every word, every action is scrutinized. Every slight is cataloged. And now, for the first time, imagine flipping the script. Imagine wielding your strength like a shadow, soft, quiet, deliberate. Ah, the power of being underestimated. That's where the real victory hides. Not in screaming or striking, but in the confusion of those who cannot grasp why your kindness doesn't bend, why your gentleness carries weight, why you can stand tall while they stumble over their own assumptions. Yes, I see it in your eyes. The doubt, the hesitation, the fear that kindness might be a weakness. But listen closely. That's exactly what they want you to believe. They want you to think gentleness is a liability, but that's a lie. The truth? Your kindness is a weapon. Your patience is a shield. Your calm is a blade. And when you finally decide to unleash it, not recklessly, not in anger, but with purpose, the world will blink, stagger, and gasp, because they never knew a warrior could move this way. They never knew someone could hold power quietly, steadily, and still emerge unshaken. And that is your advantage. That's your secret. That's the space where no one else dares to enter. The space where you become untouchable, not through brute force, but through mastery of self. The irony. They thought they could predict you. They thought they could understand your moves. They didn't count on the quiet ones, the measured ones, the gentle warriors who fight without shouting, who conquer without crushing, who rise without trampling. And now it's your turn to step into that power, to embrace it, to see yourself not as the world expects, but as the force it cannot categorize. So take a breath, look at them, see the confusion. Let it remind you of your edge, of the path you've chosen, of the strength and restraint, because this, right here, right now, is where it begins, where you realize that being a warrior doesn't mean abandoning kindness, that being fierce doesn't require losing yourself, that yes, you can be gentle and still dominate the battlefield of life in ways they'll never understand. Just imagine it. Now listen carefully, because this is where most people stumble. They see a gentle warrior and think it's effortless. It's not. You've got to train yourself, sharpen the edges hidden beneath the calm. Every day, every choice, every glance you give the world, it matters. Small actions, repeated with precision, carve a presence they can't ignore. It starts with awareness. See everything. Observe without judgment. Notice the intentions behind words, the lies behind smiles, the cracks in confidence they try so desperately to hide. Knowledge is your silent weapon. Then comes restraint. Oh yes. Restraint is an art. No. Don't let them see the storm in your eyes before it's meant to strike. Learn to pause, to breathe, to measure every reaction. When someone tests you, when they push, when they provoke, they're looking for an explosion. And what do? You smile, you nod. You let them stumble over their own expectations. That pause, that moment of stillness, it's your signature move. It's the subtle shock that reminds them they're dealing with a force they can't control. Next, your kindness. Don't misunderstand me. This isn't a weakness. This is precision. You decide when to extend a hand, when to speak, when to act. Watch closely. When you choose kindness in a world that expects cruelty, you disrupt patterns. You create tension. People don't know how to process it. And that confusion, that hesitation, that's your advantage. Gentle gestures, quiet words, deliberate smiles, they become more powerful than any scream or strike could ever be. Because strength, my friend, doesn't need to announce itself. And don't forget boundaries. A warrior who is gentle doesn't let the world bleed into their soul. No. You define your space. You decide who gets close and who is kept at a distance. Respect yourself first, and others will follow. This is where discipline meets strategy. Every boundary, every limit, every carefully chosen refusal is a message. It says, I am here, I am strong, I am untouchable, and not because I fight noisily, but because I know my worth. Now let's talk about action. Yes, action. It's where theory becomes reality. You don't rush, you don't panic, you move with intent. When someone underestimates you, when they doubt your power, when they assume your gentleness equals surrender, you strike. Not with blind rage, but with calculated impact. A single precise move can topple arrogance faster than 1,000 battles fought in anger. Remember, chaos is loud, strategy is quiet, and the quiet always wins. And finally, reflection. After every encounter, after every test, after every moment of confusion you've caused, simply by being yourself, reflect. Understand what worked. Understand what faltered. The warrior who is gentle learns constantly, adapts relentlessly, and grows infinitely. You are not static. You are fluid. You are the shadow that moves just out of reach, the calm that unsettles the storm, the gentle force that bends the world without breaking it. So, stand tall, smile quietly, watch the world scramble to understand you. Let them guess, let them falter, let them underestimate. Your strength is not in noise, it is in calm. It is in control. It is in the power of being a warrior who can hold kindness in one hand and unshakable resolve in the other. They will never see it coming. And when they do, it will be too late. Because this is the way of the gentle warrior. Not the way of chaos, not the way of anger, but the way of precision, patience, and quiet domination. And now, it's your turn. Step forward. Be seen. Be feared. But most of all, be gentle. Now, take a moment. Really take it. Look at yourself. Do you see the strength behind the calm, the fire beneath the gentle? Most never do. Most settle for loud, chaotic strength, thinking it defines power. But not you. You've learned the secret. You've seen the game. And now, it's your turn to rewrite the rules. You walk through the world differently. Every step is measured. Every word is intentional. Every glance is calculated. People expect fury. They expect noise. They expect to be predictable. And what do you give them instead? Silence. Patience. A smile. It disarms them. It unsettles them. It reminds them that the truest warriors are not the ones who destroy, but the ones who endure, who choose their battles, who wield kindness like a blade sharper than any sword. Think about it. The people around you, they're scrambling, they're guessing, They're terrified of what they cannot understand. And that's where you thrive. That's where your power lives. The world mistakes gentleness for weakness, but the gentle warrior knows the quiet hand can break chains. The soft word can command respect. The measured action can topple arrogance. Every moment of restraint, every act of subtle strength, every choice to remain human when others lose themselves, it accumulates. It builds an unstoppable force without the world even realizing it. And now, the choice is yours. Will you let the world dictate your moves? Will you bend to expectation, follow the noise, succumb to the chaos? Or will you step into your power, the kind of power that confuses, disarms, and dominates without cruelty? Imagine it. Imagine the calm that commands attention, the smile that unnerves, the presence that rewrites assumptions. That is the edge of the gentle warrior. That is where victory hides. So rise, walk tall, move quietly, speak softly, act deliberately, and never forget, being gentle is not surrender. Being kind is not a weakness. Being patient is not hesitation. It is a strategy. It is controlled. It is mastery. And when they finally understand, when they finally grasp that a warrior can be gentle, they will see the truth. You are more dangerous than they ever imagined. This is your moment, your power, your identity. The world will try to define you, misjudge you, underestimate you. Let them scramble, let them falter. And in that space, in that tension, you will thrive. Yes, thrive. Gentle, calm, unseen, unmatched, and completely unstoppable because they never saw it coming. Now, let's go deeper. Deeper than they expect. You've walked through observation, restraint, strategy, and reflection. You've seen the edge of what it means to be gentle yet fierce. But here's the ultimate truth. It's not enough to know it, not enough to think about it. You must become it. Every thought, every breath, every heartbeat aligned with the silent power that others cannot predict, cannot control, cannot resist. Think of the moments you've underestimated. Remember their faces, the doubt, the hesitation. That confusion, that hesitation is your signature. That is the mark of a warrior who knows restraint is strength, that kindness is strategy, and patience is precision. You can step into that moment again and again, each time sharper, each time stronger, each time closer to mastery. And the world will never know what hit it. Here's the kicker. They will test you. They will push. They will try to unravel you with noise, distraction, and expectation. No. That's where you show your edge. The calm eye of the storm, the quiet hand that steadies, the measured step that leaves them guessing. They think chaos is power. They think fury wins. But the gentle warrior, the one who chooses when to strike and when to hold back, that's the one who shapes the battlefield entirely without lifting a heavy hand. So ask yourself, what will you choose? Will you let the world define your strength? Or will you bend the rules, rewrite the script, and own the space that no one dared to occupy? Imagine the clarity. Imagine the focus. Imagine walking through life with a power that is invisible until it's undeniable. That is your legacy. That is the path of the gentle warrior. And finally, remember this. The world fears what it cannot predict. People fear those who remain calm in the chaos, who extend kindness when cruelty is expected, who endure when others break. Let them fear, let them question, let them stumble. You move forward, gentle, precise, relentless in your own quiet way. It's intoxicating. It's liberating. It's the ultimate power. So rise now. Step into your presence. Command attention without yelling. Lead without crushing. Strike without rage. Smile without weakness. Move through life as the warrior they didn't know could exist. Be gentle. Be fierce. Be everything they never anticipated, and leave them in awe, scrambling to catch up, forever confused by the strength of a heart that can be tender and unbreakable all at once.